Very nice group.
He's beginning his so-called presidential exploratory trip. Traveling as a president on Air Force One could be a downgrade. He has masterpieces in the back and a master bedroom up front. We tagged along to see if he was serious or just showing off. Day one had 3 events. First, a press conference with very little press.
Well, I'm here for a number of reasons. Tomorrow, as you know, there's a big speech at the arena, and I guess we have about 20,000 people for that. And then tonight we're doing Jay Leno.
Trump seemed not to mind sharing the spotlight with his girlfriend at the time, a European model named Melania Knauss.
Melania?
Next on the campaign trail, the pre-taping of that Leno show.
And our guest tonight, the next president of the United States, Donald Trump, once caught a sexually transmitted disease from himself.
He'll tease me, there's no question about it. He historically has. He always will.
They say a job like president requires a big ego. Now, do you think... You think you can handle it?
I'm not sure my ego is big enough. That's one of the things which I can...
Really? Can I write that down?
You can write it.
Last on Trump's day calendar, a meeting with the group he must win over to even make a run at the presidency. California Reform Party loyalists. Political consultant Scott Reed explains.
Well, the Reform Party was really created back in 1992 when Ross Perot saw a niche, and he saw that the people were disgusted with the direction of the country. And Donald Trump now has stepped back and recognized that he wants to be a major influence in national politics, and he's decided to go out and attempt to become the nominee.
Well, it's a great honor to be here. It's a great honor that so many folks have shown up. Tomorrow, and you're all invited as my guest, I'm giving a little speech, and I just heard that 21,000 people are showing up, so I don't know. I think we can...
People picking up campaign literature found it to be mostly just promotional stuff for Trump's new book. They felt no better when Trump seemed unaware of the party platform.
Well, nobody knows what the Reform Party platform is, to be totally honest with you, because to be honest
and
with you,
he then ignored the Reform Party position not to attack fellow candidates like Pat Buchanan and his new ally, Lenora Falani.
So you have an ultra-right and a communist together. This is the partnership. You can have that partnership. We don't want it.
Opening night of Trump on the Stump got mixed reviews.
I was disappointed because I felt that I thought he was very attacking of other members of the party, which I thought was very disrespectful.
I think he came. I think you heard what he had to say, and we're excited.
I think he's a con man and ought to go back to New York.
Why?
Because he's coming out here just trying to destroy our party. That's the way I look at it.
The way Trump looks at it, he's at least better than everyone else in the race, beginning with John McCain.
I mean, he was captured.
And he flew combat missions with distinction.
Does being captured make you a hero? I don't know. I'm not sure.
George W. Bush.
Well, so far I've been very, very saddened by the fact that he certainly doesn't seem like Albert Einstein.
Do you think he'd been governor if his father had not been president?
No.
Well, Bill Bradley.
A man who I just don't have tremendously high regard for, and I think he'd be a terrible president.
The late Sam Rayburn of Texas was quoted once as saying of the people Lyndon Johnson picked around him, I'd feel better if they'd at least run for sheriff one time in their life. You understand the spirit and the essence of that?
Sure, I do, but I know the politicians, and I know how... Hey, look, I know politicians. I know politicians perhaps better than you know politicians, and you interview them all the time. I deal with them all the time, at almost every level.
Well, certainly you've given them more money than I have.
I've given them a lot of money, and they come to my office, and they ask for a lot of money, and within the system, I give it. And, I mean, I know these folks well, and some are dumber than a rock. And I know who they are. I know the smart ones. I know the not-so-smart ones. And I know that I can do a very good job.
As a person, as a man, what's the best thing about him?
He's a loyal man.
And what's the worst thing about him?
I don't have the worst thing.
Well, there has to be something. Nobody's perfect.
I don't have it.
He's done a good job. Wow.
Donald, I think you would agree, this is not your average thinking about running for president picture.
I would say this is a little bit different. I agree with that. This is a little bit different.
And different, too, was the main event on his second day of campaigning in California.
Amazing man, Donald Trump!
Remember those 21,000 people Trump said were waiting for him? It turns out they were there for motivational speaker Tony Robbins. Trump was the paid entertainment. He says his fee was $100,000. His message appeared less high-minded than mean-spirited.
Get even. When somebody screws you, screw them back, but a lot harder, folks.
Afterwards, Trump continued acting less the presidential candidate than politically incorrect.
You know, it's amazing. She looks so conservative. She's got the glasses and everything. The only problem is she's hardly got a dress on. Okay, go ahead. The beautiful woman in the white semi-blouse.
How do I go about creating the capital that I need to start my business when all I have is my knowledge and my dream?
Meet a wealthy guy. How you doing, fellas? How you doing, babe? How you doing, fellas?
It should not be surprising that Trump has some popularity with the kind of people building his newest skyscraper, blue-collar working men. They enjoy the Donald, acting like the Don.
How you doing, everybody? Hey, fellas!
Mr. Trump, please, thank you. Nice.
Trump says he will announce a decision in February. Meanwhile, he's living the life of the man who has everything.